So depending on the narcissist that you're dealing with, they were either coddled or spoiled, and well, spoiled children end up rotten. Because what happens is when you spoil a child, oftentimes they do not learn how to regulate their own emotions. They rely on the external world to do it for them because, again, mommy and daddy handed them everything. They got their way. And what you'll see is when these golden, spoiled children become adults, they expect the same treatment. So they expect to get whatever they want without putting in the adequate work. And this is also related to regulating their own emotions. So know that when people spoil children, they're not really developing self-confidence. What they're developing is their ego. And the ego is a false self. So think about this. You have a spoiled golden child that did not have to work for their stuff. They did not have to work for their car. Mommy and dad bought their car. They did not have to work to get through school. The parents paid the teachers and the school. So they didn't really have to put in the effort. So what you see here is someone that is not working on themselves. And well, if you're not working on your true self, people, you are working on your false self. And this is why spoiled golden children end up ego maniacs. They end up with an overinflated ego. And this is maladaptive because we are here to spiritually awaken. So you do not want to have an overinflated ego because an overinflated ego is working against the spirit. So you'll see where as adults, well, spoiled children, well, they end up rotten. So what do you call a rotten adult? An ego maniac. Someone that does not truly love themselves, you see. What they are in tune with is their false self. So you have the narcissists that were spoiled or coddled, overindulged and underindulged, and then they grew up to be entitled, egotistical adults with low self-esteem. Again, this is the shame. This is the unworthiness. So you have some narcissists that were spoiled and coddled, right? The golden children, most of them end up to be very narcissistic. They end up egomaniacs. And then you have the other narcissists that grew up in what I call the shameless type of dysfunctional family systems, right? There was most likely a lot of neglect, abuse. Maybe the parents were alcoholics, maybe they were into other drugs. Maybe they grew up in an abusive household, etc. So what you see is that when children grow up in these types of dysfunctional household, well, they end up like their dysfunctional caregivers. So think about the narcissist in your life. Did they grow up with, for example, an alcoholic? Well, did they turn out to be exactly like their alcoholic parent? Because as it relates to dysfunctional family systems, people, monkey see, monkey do. So if you're wondering where narcissists learned their deception and their manipulation from, they learned it from their dysfunctional caregivers. So oftentimes in these shameless type of dysfunctional family systems, the children have to raise themselves. So they don't have a lot of guidance. And because they don't have a lot of guidance, then they go down the wrong path. They go down the narcissistic path. They go down the self-pleasing path. So narcissists really come out of two main types of households. And again, one is the golden spoiled child. And the other one is the shameless type of dysfunctional family system where there was most likely abuse, substance abuse, neglect, poverty, and a lot of dysfunction. And they grew up mirroring that dysfunction. And again, all of this is tied to shame, low self-esteem. And again, as it relates to pathological narcissists, this is pathologically low self-esteem. Self-esteem so low that they would probably have to look up to see it. So you are dealing with self-loathing individuals.